Selling on Amazon is not a very easy game to play. And that's because if you're not really quite sure what you're doing fully, there is a lot of room for a lot of mistakes. So that's why today I want to share with you guys 9 of the top costly mistakes that I see Amazon sellers make, and I'm guilty of making them myself, so that this way you know what to look for and you can avoid them. But first, if you're new here, I'm Cassandra and I am a full-time Amazon seller. On this channel, I am here each and every week to share with you guys what I'm learning in my Amazon business so that you can implement these things and be successful on Amazon too. So if you're into that, please subscribe to my channel. Here we go. The first mistake is not being very detail oriented and checking the listings. There is a lot of information on the listings, in the title, in the description, in the reviews, in the product dimensions, and all of these things have to match up perfectly with the source that you're buying. And if it's not a perfect match, then you are definitely not going to make the consumer happy and you're not going to get good reviews. So here's what you definitely need to be looking at inside of the listing. Now, this mistake definitely got me a couple times when I was a new seller. So what you want to do anytime you are deciding to jump onto a listing is to very closely look at all of the details. For example, if I was going to source this shampoo, I would start by looking at the title. So I can see that this is for a 16 ounce. The pictures make it seem like this is just for 1 bottle. Now, new sellers will just look at that and say, okay, 1 bottle, good to go, and send that off. But what you really need to do is scroll down further and check the details. To be completely safe, you want to come right here to the product dimensions. Now, I know that this shampoo is a 16 floral ounce, and this is saying that the product dimensions is 1 pound. So that right there matches up perfectly, and I would feel safe knowing that this listing is only for 1 bottle. But I can't tell you how many times I've looked at a listing, checked everything in the beginning up top, and it made it seem like it was only one of the unit. Then when I scroll down to the product dimensions, the dimensions are much larger than the volume of 1 unit. So in that case, when that does happen, next I go down and read the reviews. Then down in the reviews, if I see that customers are complaining that they thought they were getting 3 units and they only received 1, things like that, I know that I do not want to get on this listing. And here's where these problems arise. Anybody can create a listing for an arbitrage product as long as you can sell that brand. But every other seller that can also sell that brand and will jump onto this listing has the power to go in and edit or revise the listing. So sometimes the original seller who created the listing, A, they might have done a bad job doing it and they didn't match up the details, or B, they might have intended this to be a listing of 3, but then another seller jumps in and they edit it and change it to a listing of 1. So that's one of the downfalls with arbitrage, is all of these different people can come onto the listings and edit them. So you really want to look closely at the details and make sure that it's matching up. If the customer thinks that they're only getting 1, check the product dimensions and make sure that it is only for 1 unit, then read the reviews and make sure everything checks out. If there's confusion in the reviews or between the dimensions of the product in the listing and the dimensions of the product size, and you're not really clear how many units the listing is for, then avoid it at all costs. The number 2 costly mistake is not understanding all of the numbers when it comes to selling on Amazon. There are a significant amount of fees associated with selling on the platform. And if you're not familiar with all of these different fees, you might think something is profitable when really it's not. So let's talk about these fees. The first fee is going to be with having your seller account. If you don't have a professional account, this means you probably sell less than 40 units per month. And in that case, you're going to pay 99 cents fee per unit that you sell. But if you plan on selling at least 40 units a month anyways, then you're going to want to go with a professional selling plan, and that's going to cost you a fee of $39.99 a month. Now, if I come down here on the calculator, the first fee that I'll see here is a selling on Amazon fee. And this is known as a referral fee. This essentially is Amazon's cut of every single sale that you make just by using their platform. And this will vary based on the category that you're selling in, but generally it's going to be 15% of the revenue for the product sale. And the very minimum amount that Amazon will take for a referral fee is 30 cents. So if the product you're selling, the price is so low that it is not even 30 cents to be that 15% referral fee, then Amazon will round it up for 30 cents. Next, if you're utilizing the FBA model where you're sending your products to the Amazon warehouses, you're going to have a fulfillment by Amazon fee. And this is the fee to have them pick the product off of the shelf and ship it to the customer. So essentially, it's the fee for Amazon to be fulfilling the order for you, which does save you a lot of time. You're not going to have to individually print different labels and ship each unit out every time you make a sale. So it saves a lot of time, but it is going to cost you a fee to use the FBA model. And the price of your product actually has no effect on the fee. What the fee goes by is it's based on your product dimension and the weight. So essentially, the larger the product, the heavier it is, the higher the fulfillment fee will be. And in 2022, Amazon also has added a 5% surcharge on top of this in order to compensate for global inflation and increase in transportation costs. You're also going to have to pay to ship the products to Amazon, but if your products are light, you can really get a lot in a box. People like to ask me what it's going to cost to ship, but really, to give you the best idea that I can, my products are all really light. Usually they're a pound or less. So I can fit a lot of them in a box. Typically, my boxes weigh about 40 pounds each, and Amazon costs me generally $15 to ship it. But if I have 50 units in that box, that's really not expensive at all per unit to ship. Next, since you're using the Amazon warehouse space, they are going to charge you a warehouse fee. This storage fee is based on cubic feet. So if you take the length, the width, and the height of your product, multiply them all together, that will give you the cubic feet. Then that product will fall into either standard or oversized. For a standard product, the fee is going to be 83 cents per unit between January and September. Once we get into Q4, where it's the really busy season with the holidays, that's when those storage fees get pretty high. From October to December, the standard fee is actually $2.40 per unit. And if the product falls into the oversized tier from January to September, it will be 53 cents, and October to December would be $1.20 per unit. On top of this regular storage fee, if your product sits in the warehouse for 12 months or longer, you are going to get hit with another fee called a long-term storage fee. And this will increase your fee by $6.90 per cubic foot, or 15 cents per unit, whichever is greater. So it is really important that you choose products that are going to be selling through pretty fast and that you do not have products sitting in the warehouse for over a year. The last fee you need to know about is the removal and disposal fees. And this is something where if you have a product that's in the warehouse and for some reason you need to get rid of it, then they're going to charge you a fee to do so. So for example, if you have a product that you're going into your 12th month and you don't want to be hit with long-term storage fees, then you can put in a removal order to have those products sent back to you or to be disposed of. And they'll charge you this fee to do so. The number 3 costly mistake, and this is a really important one, it's not understanding the BSR, which is known as the best seller rank. Knowing this number and what it is really going to help you in making good informed decisions when it comes in purchasing arbitrage items to resell. You obviously want to be selling products that are selling fast. You don't want your money tied up into products that are just going to sit there, and you especially don't want products that are going to be at the warehouse for longer than a year so you don't get that long-term fee. So it's super important that you understand the bestseller rank and how it varies depending on the category. If I wanted to sell this product, the first thing I would look at is its sales rank or bestseller rank. And I can scroll all the way down to the product details to see that. Or if I have other tools that I'm using, for example, this multi-tool here, I can see the sales rank quickly at the top. And with my seller amp, I can also see it right here where it says BSR. So I know that this product is around 4,000 and it's in the category of beauty and personal care. I like to use my little bestsellers rank cheat sheet to see if that is a good rank in the category. And you can get this for free right down in the description. You can go to my Gumroad and download it. And you'll notice that every category has a different perception of what the top rank is. For example, for appliances, if you want to be in the top 1%, meaning that it's selling fast, you can be all the way up into about 12,000 for a rank. But in beauty and personal care, to still be in the top 1% and be selling really fast, you can go all the way up to 117,000. And that's because this is a much larger category. So the more products that are in there, the higher that BSR can be and still be a really good product. So for that product to have a 4,000 BSR, are in beauty and personal care, that tells me that it's in the top 0.5%, meaning it is a really fast seller and something good that I might want to jump onto if the profit is high enough. So it's really important to always check the sales rank and to have a cheat sheet like this so that you can see if the rank is actually good for that category. Because a 30,000 rank in one category might be kind of crappy, but in another category, that could be a really strong rank. So head to the Gumroad and you'll just scroll down and click I want this, and you can download that cheat sheet. The number 4 costly mistake is not investing in the right software. Now, I know when you're first starting out, it might be intimidating to know, number 1, which softwares to invest in, and number 2, wanting to shell out the money for these softwares. But I get it. I was there too. When I first started out, I didn't really know what I was doing. I wasn't making a profit yet, so I didn't want to spend money on any softwares. And that was definitely a mistake. There are some softwares that you just need to have in order to make good informed decisions. Number 1, you're definitely going to want to get yourself Keepa. Number 2, I like to use a really good profit calculator and sales estimator and a database to search for products. So for those things, I use ProfitGuru. Number 3, a great way to be able to list your inventory fast and have access to all of your different numbers is with Inventory Lab. So these are the 3 things that right off the bat, I would say you definitely need to consider getting. Then later on down the road, when you start learning different sourcing methods, if you want to do a lot of online arbitrage, tactical arbitrage is a great one to get. Also, SellerAmp is another software that I would definitely recommend. You can get a lot of good data from that, do some storefront stocking. I also use it to find different brands for wholesaling. So there are softwares that you are going to need to have. I'm not saying go out and purchase all of them, but I'm saying right in the beginning, definitely get those few ones that you're going to just have to have in order to see the back end of things that you can't see with your eye, that only the data can show you. And that all leads me into the 5th costly mistake, and that is not knowing Keepa. Keepa can feel really intimidating in the beginning, but for lack of better words, it is just non-negotiable. You're going to have Keepa and understand how to use it. If you are a new seller, get used to the word Keepa because it is something that you are going to hear a lot. And that's because it really is very necessary in order to make good buying decisions. To see your Keepa chart for any product, you're just going to scroll down right underneath it, and there it is. If you're new here, don't be scared. I know this looks really scary, but once you watch a few videos on it, and I do have a really good one on this channel that breaks it down for you, I'll link it above for you, it isn't as tricky as it looks. But Keepa is really going to tell you whether or not this is a good product to purchase. So I can see all of the different offers here, what the price has been, this cream color, that's Amazon, so I can see when Amazon's on the listing, who's winning the buy box, how many times it's selling. Down here in blue, these are the new offer counts, so that would be my competition. I can even go here into the data tab, and here I can get a really good look at the rank and how it's been changing or if it's staying steady. I can even come here to the buy box statistics. This is showing me who's getting the sale, so I want to make sure that it's not just going to one seller. Therefore, if I jump on the listing, I want to get some sales too. So if I saw that this was just going 99% of the time to one person, I probably wouldn't jump onto it. I can make my view go out to see the full year. This really tells me what's going on across time with the product. I can go in and look at it just for the week. Drops here are indicating sales. So every time I see a drop, I don't know how many sales have been made. It might have been 5 sales, but I know at least a sale has occurred. I see a lot of fluctuation here just in a week with the price. So that's something that I would be kind of hesitant about. Right now, Amazon has it at $23.44, and just recently, December 12th, it was only $18.76, which that can make a difference in your profit. I also see here in a year's time, all of this cream color means Amazon is on the listing a lot, and right here where there's no cream, they jump off a little bit, which with Amazon being on a listing, it doesn't mean that you can't come on it, but you just want to be aware if they're there and definitely check those buy box statistics because a lot of the time, Amazon wants the sales for themselves, so they can be really hard to compete with. But you have to know Keepa. So watch as many videos as you can, practice reading these, and you should be doing this so much that you are seeing Keepa charts in your sleep. The 6th costly mistake is not taking advantage of the small and light program. Not all of your products will be able to fall into this program, but when they do, you definitely want to utilize it. If you are not enrolling eligible products into the Small and Light program, you are just throwing money out of your pocket. Generally speaking, it goes by size and weight, and if the product is less than 3 pounds and less than $10, then you can enroll it. There was some confusion because I had seen a message from Amazon saying they were going to increase that from $10 to $12, but that has not happened. So as of now, the product has to be priced under $10 and less than 3 pounds. So I found this puzzle that does meet those requirements, and I took the ASIN and put it into ProfitGuru's Amazon FBA calculator. Now check this out. If I enroll this product into just the regular FBA program, then this is what my fees would be, and before the cost of the goods, my profit would be $4.46. But if I take that ASIN and enroll it into the Small and Light, my profit would be $5.83. So Amazon has done this for us. They are making it so your fees are significantly less. And this is great for specifically wholesale products. I have a lot of wholesale products that I sell that are less than $10, and I do that on purpose so that my fees will be less. And these products where before there wasn't a profit, there will be now by being in the Small and Light. And other sellers that want to come onto this listing and compete with me, if they don't enroll theirs into the Small and Light, they're not going to see that there's any profit to be made, and they're not going to get onto the listing. So by me enrolling it into it and knowing about this program, I definitely have the upper hand, because one seller might see it as no profit if they're just doing the regular FBA, but the Small and Light will decrease your fees, and now where there wasn't profit, there might be. So always check and see if your product can go into Small and Light so that your fees are less and your profits are more. The 7th costly mistake is selling the wrong products. Now, this can mean a variety of different things. What might be wrong to me might not be wrong to another person, so it could go based on preference. But you definitely do want to look at a few different factors. Number one is going to be that BSR, that bestseller rank. If you're choosing products that are not selling quickly, then you're choosing the wrong products. You don't want to tie all of your money into products that are just going to sit there. Then you're not rolling your money back and you're not getting profits out of it to then reinvest back in. So definitely be on the lookout for products that don't sell at least 40 units per month. Also, look at the size of the competition. If something is selling 100 units a month, that seems good. But if there's 20 different competitive sellers on that, then that's not good. You're not going to get a lot of those 100 sales if the competition is too high. The wrong product for me also means too heavy. I don't like things that are too heavy because that is going to eat into my shipping and other fees. A lot of the Amazon fees goes based on the size dimensions and the weight. So if things are really heavy, that can start eating into profits. Personally, the lighter, the better. The wrong products for me also include glass and fragile items. These not only take longer to prep, but there's more of a risk that something can happen and then the consumer is going to want a refund, which of course that definitely is going to eat into our profits and be very costly. And also think about electronics. Now, this can be a good category to get into. There's a lot of good electronics selling on Amazon, but electronics can break. So with electronics comes costly returns. So just some key points to think about when you're trying to decide what does the wrong product mean to you. The 8th costly mistake is if you're using the FBA model where you're sending your products to the Amazon warehouse, is not waiting until you have a full shipment. If I'm selling products that are really light and really small, and I'm only sending 10 of those in a box, I'm probably going to pay $10 at least for that small box. But if those light products maybe are less than a pound and I can put 50 of them in a box and still only pay that same $10 fee, then that is really going to decrease what I'm paying per unit for shipping. So definitely wait until you have a full box before you send it into the warehouse, so that way you can divide that shipping fee across more units and save you money. Thank you to those of you who have stayed all the way to the end with me. And for the number 9 costly mistake that I see Amazon sellers make, that is going too deep and not why. When it comes to selling on Amazon, I think it's a bad idea to put all of your eggs into just one basket and to hope and pray. There are a ton of different categories. thousands of different products. And I like to dip my hand into all of these different baskets and have profit dispersed all over the place rather than just go really heavy into one listing, because things can go wrong. Maybe at the time, this could be a really good listing and I'm making $10 profit per unit and I sink 200 units into that listing. But the listing could be deactivated, the price could tank, a ton of competition could come on, so much could go wrong. So I never want to encourage anybody to put all of their eggs into one basket and to go too deep into one area. Instead, go wide. I have some products in health and beauty. I have some in grocery. I have some in office supplies. I have some in crafts. They're all over the place. This way, if something happens to a listing, I have all of these other listings that I can piggyback off of and I'm fine. I hope that this was helpful for you guys and that you can now know 9 of the most costly mistakes Amazon sellers make and you can avoid them. Thanks for being here with me. I really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel and I'll see you in the next video.